Is it clear to you that you are now the witness of your experience?
I think partially. And again, I felt so inspired this week that you've reminded us, Rupert, that things is a process,
Yes.
and it's not just as other teachers have maybe said, it's not just a thing, it may happen, it may not. You know what I mean? So that's very encouraging as well. So I think, yes, the answer is,
But it's not... The witness of our experience is not something that may happen or may not.
No.
It's not something extraordinary that happens to you at a certain time and leaves you in an altered state for a period of time. The witness, I mean, are you not now witnessing our conversation?
Yes.
Witnessing means knowing.
Yes.
When you witness something, you see it, or you know it, or you experience it. Yes? So now, are you not witnessing or knowing your experience?
Yes.
The sound of my voice, the sight of this room, the sensations of your body, your thoughts and feelings.
Yes.
You are
yes.
knowing them. Yes? Now, what is it that is knowing them? Knowing your experience?
Well, the background awareness, yes,
Yeah,
the awareness.
Awareness or whatever you call it, whatever it is that is witnessing or knowing or experiencing our experience is what is called the witness.
Yes.
It's not something extraordinary that might have happened to you for a moment 40 years ago. I mean, right now, you with a capital Y, you, what you call I, is knowing your experience. That knowing I is always present. When you were having lunch earlier today, your thoughts were different, your feelings were different, your sensations were different, and your perceptions were different from those that are now present. So everything about your experience at lunch today, and at breakfast today, and at lunch last week, and last year, and 10 years ago, and 40 years ago, everything about your experience has changed and changes continuously. But one element of your experience, that which knows, or the knowing element of experience, remains consistently present, simply witnessing or being aware of your experience. That is not something extraordinary that suddenly starts to happen at a moment in time. It's happening all the time. We don't notice it because our attention is so exclusively directed towards objects. We are so fascinated by our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions that we don't notice, there is something that is aware of all of this. What is that?
Yes.
But as soon as somebody asks us the question, be interested in whatever it is that is aware of your experience. Something very magical happens. As soon as someone says, be interested in that which is aware of your experience, we cease focusing on the objects of experience. We cease focusing exclusively on thoughts, sensations, and perceptions. And in that moment, there is a relaxation of the mind, a relaxation of the focus of our attention on objects. And in that moment, the presence of awareness is noticed. The presence of awareness doesn't start then. We just notice it. It's equivalent to being fascinated, so fascinated by a movie that all we see is the drama in the movie. And at some point, somebody says to us, be interested on whatever it is the movie is playing on. You keep watching the movie, but there is a relaxation of the exclusive interest in the drama, and suddenly you see the screen. Did the screen start at that moment? No. The screen was present all along, but you hadn't noticed it because you were so absorbed in the drama. It's the same thing. We don't notice the presence of awareness because we are so absorbed by the drama of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. But as soon as we relax our interest in the drama, we don't even need to get rid of the drama. As soon as we relax the focus of our attention on the drama, oh, there's the presence of awareness. Just this silent, open, inherently peaceful presence of awareness, simply witnessing or watching the movie of experience. So to begin with, it's legitimate to say that this presence of awareness is in the background of experience, just like we might say that the screen is behind the movie. That is only said to one who is infatuated by the contents of the movie. So the teaching says to him, no, see that the screen is behind the movie. See that the presence of awareness is behind the mind. Actually, it's not behind the mind. The screen is not behind the movie, because all there is to the movie is the screen. So the first step is to discover the witnessing presence of awareness behind experience, and the second step in the midst of experience. So don't expect something special to happen. These stories about people who notice, who have 2 weeks barely able to walk down the street or sit on the sofa, these are these kind of situations, these kind of experiences occur when there has been such a contraction of the attention on objects, when the attention has been so exclusively focused on objects that this relaxation triggers a series of side effects in the body-mind. So for some time, for a couple of weeks in your friend's case, for some time there is a complete disorientation in the body-mind, because that body-mind has been so gripping onto external or objective experience so tightly that this relaxation throws him into confusion. Other people have to sit on park benches for 2 years while their body and mind reacclimatizes. So tightly focused was the mind on objects that this relaxation, it's disorientating. So nothing wrong with that, no criticism of that. But it doesn't have to happen like that. In fact, in most cases it doesn't. It could also happen like this. Oh yes, of course. There's something that is aware of my experience. I had never, why did nobody tell me that before? Of course. My thoughts are flowing through an empty space. My feelings and sensations are appearing in this same empty space, and this empty space it's inherently peaceful. It's never stained by experience. That's it. It could happen like that. And then that person would just keep visiting, keep noticing this openness in which experience appears, and begin to live there more and more, so that their thoughts and feelings in time would become saturated with the peace of awareness. And they would never be able to report anything special. Like Shunryo Suzuki, the Zen master, who was asked by one of his students, why do you never speak about your enlightenment experience? And his wife at the back of the hall stood up and said, because he never had one. I belong to that category.
Sounds fine.